We're going to actually go to the actual conference call with GM Jason Licht speaking.
Going after Tom in free agency was our number one priority this offseason because we knew he'd be a perfect fit for what we're trying to do here. He's a Buccaneer today, not for what he's done in the past, but for what we know he can accomplish here in the near future as well. We know that Tom's going to have a transformative effect in our locker room, and he's going to demand the best out of himself, his teammates, and anybody that's around him. I'd also, at this point, like to thank the Glazer family for providing us with the resources and the leadership to make it such a bold move in free agency. We wouldn't be here today if not for the passion and desire to win another Super Bowl, hopefully more, for our fans. This was an all-out effort from every level of the organization, from scouts to coaches to our front office and especially ownership. And today we begin a new era for the Buccaneers that will define our franchise for many years to come. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Coach Arians.
Yeah, to echo what Jason said, I hope everybody's healthy, your families are healthy, and you're dealing with this crisis that we're going through. And hopefully football can be a little bit of a bright light for the upcoming days and months ahead. Like Jason said, I'm extremely excited. Wish we could start practice tomorrow, but we can't, obviously. And to have Tom lead our football team into the future, I've been very, very blessed as a coach. I've been around some of the great ones, and now to have the greatest one of all time. Not because of, to me, what he does on the field, but what he does to his teammates. Everywhere he makes everyone better that walks into that huddle, and really just excited to get started.
Hi, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time today. This is it's an exciting moment for me in my life. This entering something that's obviously very unique to me, is it's the first time it's happened in 20 years. So I'm kind of taking it day by day. And, the expectation for me is to come in and do what, I feel is, right for the organization. Has to be a great team player. And I'm going to try to do everything I can to get up to speed with all the things that I need to do and what my responsibilities are. I obviously have a ton of trust and respect for Coach Arians, for what Jason and what he's done to build the team and organization as it is now. And, I'm thankful to the Glazer family to give me an opportunity. And as I said the other day, I look forward to meeting all my teammates and just doing everything I can for us to achieve what we set out. And there's a lot of things that go into it. And, as soon as we can get those things going, the greater will be for everybody. But understanding the circumstance of what we're dealing with, we're in a little different approach, and we have to adjust, that's what happens in football and in life. And that's what my plan is.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and open it to questions now. We'll take our first question from Greg Allman of The Athletic. Your line is open.
Hi, Tom. Welcome to Tampa. My question for you is just that you've had nothing but success in New England, and beyond your own addition to the locker room, what can you do to change things here in Tampa where they haven't been to the playoffs for as long as they have?
Well, I think, it's obviously where I've been, I've learned a great deal. And, as I move forward, I said the other day, no one cares what you've done in the past. They don't care what you did last year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And, I think hopefully the knowledge, I've had in my experience playing quarterback, will allow me to, transition quickly. There's a lot of things I got to get up to speed on. Obviously learning different terminology, and, that's a unique challenge that I haven't faced, but it's one that I'm looking forward to also. So, again, I don't want to, I'm not going to make, a bunch of predictions to where I've been. I go in with, looking forward to the opportunity to learn from the new coaches and the new players that I'll be playing with, and I'm going to go out and give everything I got.
Thank you.
We'll move next to Jenna Lane of ESPN. Your line is open.
Hi, Tom. Welcome to Tampa. It's no secret the Bucs haven't won it's no secret the Bucs haven't won many games in the last decade plus. A lot of change too. What gave you the confidence to know that Tampa Bay was the right place for you?
Well, I'm not going to, and I don't want to get into every process decision I was making at the time. But there are a lot of things that really were intriguing to me about the organization and the players and the coaches and the willingness of everyone to try to accomplish what the goal of playing football is, which is to win. So I'm going to try to do everything I can in my position and what I'm responsible for to make that happen. And I've got to trust that everyone else is doing the exact same thing. So, in that part, it's no different from what I've experienced for 20 years in my own role.
Our next question is from Sam Farmer of the Los Angeles Times.
Hey, Tom. Congratulations.
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Some of the quarterbacks who have had success late in their careers, I'm thinking about guys like John Elway and Peyton Manning, grew increasingly reliant on their running games and defenses. Well, Bruce has never really had a game manager type of quarterback. Even back in Cleveland with Kelly Holcomb comes in the playoff game at Pittsburgh, goes for 400 yards. How attractive to you is Bruce's no risk it, no biscuit mentality? And was that a factor? Is it appealing to you that he puts the game on the shoulders of his quarterback?
Well, I think I've obviously paid attention to he and his offense for a long time. So everybody has somewhat different styles and philosophies and how they call things or and so forth. But I don't think football to me is about throwing the ball to the guy who's open. And if he's open deep, that's where you throw it. If he's open short, you throw it there. If he's open outside, you throw it there. If they're open inside, that's where you throw it. You get to the guy, you get the ball to the guys who can do something with it. And, there's some really talented players here on this offense that, that have very unique skill sets. And it's really my responsibility to, I have one ball, and I got to be able to deliver that ball to the guy who can do something with it. So, there's a lot of ground to make up because I haven't worked with these players, and I'm going to have to learn what they do and their body language and how they like things, and that's part of the challenge. And it's unfortunate we're going through in our world. It presents different challenges for all of us. So. Again, as soon as we have the opportunity to all be together in one place, and we can really start working toward that, and that's what I'm going to do.
Great. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Sam.
Next to John Romano of the Tampa Bay Times.
Hey, Tom. I'm assuming that you looked at some video of the Buccaneers before you made this decision. Is there any moment or look or play that stood out to you that told you that this was the right place, that this was an offense that was going to work good for you and for the team?
I don't think, there's not one single thing, that got to the point where I'm at today. I think just I've done, I'm playing quarterback for a long time. That's what I do is I watch film and I study and I try to learn, I try to grow, I try to evolve every year. And, I've watched this offense over a long period of time with a lot of different quarterbacks have a lot of success. And it's a great offense for the quarterbacks, it's a great offense for the receivers, for the tight ends, for the running backs. There's been a lot of great players who have been a part of, working with Coach Arians. And, again, for me, it's for me to come in and understand the things I got to learn to be successful within what we're all trying to do, and what we collectively do well. It's not about what one player does well, and great offenses aren't about one player. Great offenses are about every guy being on the same page and playing with confidence and anticipation. So until you can get to work on doing those things, and for me, getting a lot of the logistical things out of the way is important because there's a tactical aspect that I got to get to, where I got to, that I really got to get up to speed on. So that's going to be a busy off season for me, learning a lot of new things, which is a great challenge and a great opportunity for me. And I'm going to just do it the only way I know how to do it, which is just to fully engulf myself in what's done here. It's a new program that I'm a part of, and they have their way of doing things, and they're committed to winning, and I got to come in and do my part, and that's why I'm here.
We'll move next to Jarrett Bell of USA Today.
Hello? Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Hey, Jarrett. Good, Jarrett. Good talking to you.
Yeah. Couple things. Obviously, like you said, it's a difficult time in our nation, and you put that against the context of this being such a new thing for you as well. How would you describe how the pandemic is affecting your personal life, your family life, and what you're having to deal with in regards to that?
Yeah, I think, there's, logistical things that are happening that, are, not just for me, for everyone dealing with, everyone's going through their lives in a different way right now, and there's still a lot of change happening, and you just got to try to manage it as best possible. So, everyone seems to be in different locations, but I think the important part is everyone's trying to make it work, and everyone's trying to figure out how to adjust and adapt to some new realities that we're all facing. So, you've seen a lot of these other leagues that have been canceled, delayed. We as football players, there's aspects of our off season that have changed, and I'm sure will change to a degree, but that doesn't stop me from figuring out what I've got to do in my professional life to try to still, learn the things I need to learn and train the way I need to train. And, because as far as I know, there's nothing that's, delayed the start of our season at this point. And, I've got to do everything I can to be prepared as I would in a off season where we weren't dealing with what we're dealing with. So, again, I'm not making any predictions about that. I'm just going to take it day to day with how I'm doing, and I'm going to try to, learn the things I need to learn. And, it's just, I'm not going to, one day at a time is a cliche, but it's definitely not a cliche in the way that I'm trying to live my life right now. So it's just been a new reality for all of us.
Hey, Tom, also, I know Joe Montana was your guy when you were growing up. How did it strike you as a fan of his to see him leave the 49ers after so many years? And in what ways do you relate to how Joe finished his career with another team after so many years with the 49ers?
I was at Joe's last game at Candlestick Park. I actually went up there and saw it with my friend, and I'll never forget that. So he was an incredible player. He and Steve Young were my quarterback idols growing up. And, I just think life, it continues to change for all of us. And, just having the opportunity for me to continue to play football and, lead a team is something that, I love doing. And I've loved playing the sport since I was a kid, since I was throwing footballs in the parking lot at Candlestick. And I still love doing that today. And, I train hard. I try to keep my body as, physically fit as possible. Mentally, I try to stay sharp, although it's going to be a different challenge this year in learning. But, I'm going to do everything I can to do the best I possibly can. And I'm just excited to embrace this opportunity and see it for what it is, which is, a lot of guys that, have been a part of this team that, they want to be the best they can be, and they want to achieve, the highest goal. And I've been very fortunate to be a part of that. And there's no way to do it, and you can't talk your way into it. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of commitment. And it's a lot of people that are just aligned trying to do the right thing. So, again, I don't know when our first, OTA will be, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of guys that, I'm excited to meet. And, I'm going to try to get the best out of myself and try to get the best out of them. And, it's all going to be depending on, the guys in this, in the building and the facility to make it happen.
take our next question from Ben Bolin of the Boston Globe.
Hey, Tom. Congrats on signing with Tampa Bay and starting your new journey down there.
Thanks, Ben.
Have a question about your leaving New England, your departure here. Robert Kraft did several interviews the other day, or whenever that was, when you left, stating that this was really what you wanted, that leaving New England was what you wanted, and that if you had wanted to come back to the Patriots, they would have made a deal happen, but that you leaving and you wanting to start elsewhere was what you wanted to do. Would you agree with that assessment?
Well, again, I'm not responsible for how other people will say certain things. I think Mr. Kraft has been a great influence in my life, and I'm so grateful for 2 decades. I referenced that the other day. It's been an amazing thing for my family, and I'm sure when I'm done playing, I'll look back and have a chance to really reevaluate, my entire career. But, at the same time, I'm excited for, this opportunity that I have. And, I can only speak to how I feel. And, I wrote about that in my social media the other day. And, this was getting to be a free agent and, having the opportunity to join the Bucs was something that I was really excited about. And that's where we're at. That's why we're at where we're at.
Were you disappointed that the Patriots maybe didn't make more of an effort to bring you back, or maybe show some more appreciation given all you've accomplished for the team?
No, I have a great deal of respect for, there's nobody who's been a bigger fan of the Patriots than me. So I have nothing but total respect and love. And, I'm so grateful to Mr. Kraft and the organization and Coach Belichick and all the coaches and obviously all my teammates. It's been a lot of days responding to a lot of incredible text messages from my teammates, from former teammates, from just a lot of the great people I've got to meet over the years. And I have so many great relationships that, will be maintained. And, that's, I think, the greatest gift that football has brought me is the relationships that I've had with so many people I've worked with. So it'll be certainly different, but at the same time, that's the way life can be at times. And what won't be different is my approach to the game, my approach to what my roles and responsibilities are, and I'm going to go out and do the best I can every day to put our team in a position to win.
Our next question is from Ira Kaufman of Joe Bucks Fan. Your line is open.
Thank you. I got a question for Coach Arians. How are you, Bruce?
Doing great, Ira. How you doing?
Doing well, my friend. Bruce, how does it feel landing the man that was standing behind door number 2? And why is Tom Brady the right fit, Bruce, for this team at this moment?
Well, yeah, I think when, we do our due diligence every year after a season to see how we can better our football team and better our organization. We looked at everybody that might be available at the quarterback position. Obviously, really never dreaming that Tom would be available, but if he was going to be our number 1 choice, mainly because he can make everything. He can do everything we want to do in our offense, but more than that is his leadership ability that we need in our locker room to get to where we want to go. And once that became a reality, it was full bore ahead. Let's see what we got to do and see if we can get this done.
Our next question is from Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports.
Tom, congratulations, and I hope you and your family are safe and healthy. I want to ask you, you've mentioned a couple of times now about the unique challenges that this offseason may and certainly likely will present. I know you've opted against OTAs in New England the last few years. This year's OTAs obviously seem to be very much in doubt. In the event that you can't get on the field with your teammates, at least on the Bucs facility field, for any number of months, how do you plan to get to know your teammates on and off the field?
Well, I think, again, I'm not going to make predictions about how the next few months are going to go, and I don't really know what's going to happen and what's predicted with, our access to the team facilities and so forth. So I'm going to do the best I can to be in conversation with guys and try to get together and find ways to meet up in different places and get to work in that sense. So technology is an amazing thing, and we're going to use the technology as best we can to try to get to know each other. And, for me, they're ahead of me on what they need to know in terms of the offense. So I really got to get up to speed with, the things that they already know in their terminology. And it's, it's just a lot of time and energy, but it's, that's what I love to do. So the only way to start is to start doing it. And that's what I got to do.
Our next question is from Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times.
Hey, Tom, congratulations. You're not only leaving an organization after 20 years, but you're moving to Tampa, Florida. What do you know about this area? Have you spent any time here? And just what are your thoughts about, different climate, different region of the country?
Yeah, I think that's thanks for the question. There's a lot of change, and, it's just that, you go from the northeast to the south. The climate's different. It's, there's a lot of things that will be a little bit different. My drive to work will be different. I mean, there's a lot of things. So, and it's not like I'm 25 where I just basically pack a suitcase and go. I mean, I have 3 kids, and, it's just changing a little bit of our life, but that's life, and that's what people do, and that's what you do when you, have opportunities, other jobs and other places. And there's a lot of coaches that deal with that. There's a lot of players that have dealt with that. They deal with it every year, and, in that sense, I'm no different than what so many other people have gone through, and you do the best you can do, and you make the transition as smooth as possible. And, again, for me, what's most important is to try to make the smooth transition with my family, just so I can get to work on the things I need to focus on. So hopefully I can get those things finished here in the next couple of weeks and, get up to speed with the things I need to learn. And, a lot of that is just studying a playbook and getting to know, my teammates, by phone calls and so forth until we have the opportunity to, be together and try to get to know each other in that type of way.
Our next question is from Karen Gregian of the Boston Herald.
Hi, Tom. Congratulations.
Thanks, Karen. I'll miss you.
I'll miss you, too. When in your mind did you officially cut the cord with the Patriots, and how hard was it to tell Robert and the Patriots you were moving on?
It was really, the night that I had stopped by and seen, I spoke with Mr. Kraft and asked if I could come over and see him. And we spoke, and we had a great conversation. And I just wanted to express, what he's meant to me in my life. And we spoke with Coach Belichick at the same time. We were at different locations, so we talked to him, and it was a great conversation. And got a chance to talk to Jonathan Kraft as well. And, all 3 of those guys have been involved in so many important decisions in my life, career-related, personal-related. And, I leave there with just great admiration for the people in that organization. And it's a world-class, first-class organization in every way. And I wanted to leave it that way, too. So I know the Patriots have a great team. They always do. They have great players, great leadership, great coaches. And I certainly wish them the best. But for me, I've got to transition and focus on the opportunity that I have to, make the current situation I'm in as best I possibly can. And they hired me to do a job here, and I'm going to go in there and do it like you've always seen me do for a long time. Like the fans have always seen me do. Like opposing coaches, my teammates have seen me do. And I'm going to give it everything I got, like I've done every day in my life for as long as I've been playing this sport.
Take a question from Nate Davis of the USA Today.
Hi, Tom. Just maybe two-part question. Of one, have you talked to Chris Godwin about getting number 12? And secondly, just your thoughts about being able to, the new challenge of the NFC South and facing Drew Brees. You guys are in the top leaderboards together now, but facing him and Matt Ryan 2 times a year.
Yeah, it's a good division with good quarterbacks, very good offenses, but, very athletic defenses too. So, winning the division is always a hard thing to do. These teams know each other so well. I didn't play this division once, but every 4 years. So, I got to learn the players. I got to learn the schemes. There's a lot of things that I've got to learn and get up to speed on. So that's where a lot of my time and energy, it's where all my time and energy is going to be focused on and trying to do that. And also learning my teammates and learning guys like Mike and Chris, OJ Can and a lot of the skill players. Ron Jones and obviously the offensive line, who's, a very talented group. So there's a lot of things for me to focus on. And, a lot of time and energy is going to be spent on getting up to speed with, the tactical things about, how I can do the best job I can for the team. So anything outside of that, is really, in essence, not a high priority for me. It's not to say that things are unimportant. It's just I've got to be able to prioritize my time and energy so that I can, learn what I need to learn and go out there and do a great job for this organization.
And our next question is from Dan Lucas of WFLA-TV.
Hey, Tom. The offensive coordinator, Byron Leftwich, he's not far removed from his own playing career, and he's one of an up-and-coming coach in the league, and he's also getting the grasp of play calling and the install and things like that. How excited are you about working with a young coach of his stature, and what do you think you can offer him when you're able to finally get together?
Yeah, I'm excited. We've had a chance to talk a couple times, and, I just really enjoyed getting to know him a little bit. Obviously, we're right around the same age, and I watched him play for a long time, competed against him, and he's done an incredible job transitioning into his second career, which is as a coach. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's all I can say is I'm excited to do it. So I think Byron, gets along with just about everybody he comes in contact with because he's a very personable, outgoing guy. And, everyone says great things about him. And in my brief experiences talking to him, I would say all those things seem to be true. So he's got great football knowledge, and it'll be fun to get to know each other. It'll be fun to talk about football. We both have made a huge commitment in our lives to do that, and it'll be fun to take on this challenge together.
Our final question comes from Jeff Howe of The Athletic.
Hey, Tom. Just a pretty straightforward question here. What would it have taken for you to stay in New England?
Well, again, I don't want to talk about the past because that's not relevant to what's, important in my, future and what's going on this off season for me. And like I said, I had nothing but 2 decades of an incredible experience and learning from some of the best players and the best coaches and the ownership of the team. And, I think for all of us, things in life can change, and you got to be able to adapt and evolve. And with each of those changes become different opportunities to learn and grow. And that's where I'm at. And, anytime you leave somewhere, it's very emotional. And I've had my, it's been, the transition, which I would say is very emotional with a lot of guys that I've talked to, that I've shared the field with, because, the relationships are what matter most to me. And, I'm going to be friends with my teammates, my former teammates and coaches for the rest of my life. And that's not going to leave just because I'm wearing a different jersey. But at the same time, for me, the new jersey I'm wearing, I'm prepared to give them every bit of commitment that I've had my entire career to be the best I could be, to help this team be the best it could be. And, I did say there's not one person that, that makes a team. It's every single person doing their job every day that's committed and determined to be the best. And, I'm a very disciplined, quarterback. I try to, follow through on, the things that I'm committed to, and I try to work every day to be the best I could be, and that's what I'm going to try to push my teammates to do. And I'm just excited to get started. Thank you.
All right, that was Tom Brady being introduced as the new quarterback for the Buccaneers, and you heard it from Jason Light there, the general manager, saying that was their number one priority going after TB12. And Brady even mentioned there this would be a new adjustment for him, but they're going to get everything that he put in the 20 years in New England in the Bay.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in terms of with the whole coronavirus situation, because obviously there is some adjustment that needs to be done. He needs to get to know his teammates. You heard Brady talk a lot about that.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.